Imagine for a moment that you are a highly advanced biological supercomputer. Your primary job is to keep your meat suit alive, find calories, and avoid being eaten by things with larger teeth than yours. You are a masterpiece of evolution, a logical machine built for survival. But here's the thing. Every night, and occasionally during a boring meeting about quarterly spreadsheets, this supercomputer does something very strange. It stops calculating survival risks and starts running high-budget private movies. Movies that might involve scenarios you would never actually want to happen in real life. Movies that might make you feel a bit embarrassed if they were broadcast on the side of a building. We call them sexual fantasies. For a long time, we thought these mental movies were just glitches in the system, dark corners of the mind where weirdness lives. We treated them like a shameful secret or a sign that something was broken deep inside. In reality, your fantasies are not a bug. They are a feature. They are a complex, sophisticated, and surprisingly logical map of your biology, your history, and your deepest human needs. It turns out that what you dream about when nobody is looking says a lot about who you are and why we as a species are the way we are. To understand why your brain creates these internal blockbusters, we need to zoom out, way out.
Let's go back 100,000 years. Imagine a group of our ancestors sitting around a fire. Their lives are simple. Find food, don't die, and make more humans. In this environment, your brain has one goal: reproduction. But humans are unique. Unlike most animals, our brains grew massive. We developed a prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that lets us simulate the future. We can imagine a hunt before it happens. We can plan how to build a shelter before the rain starts. This simulation machine is the reason we went from throwing rocks to building space telescopes. This is where things get interesting. Evolution realized that if it could get us to practice survival in our heads, we'd be better at it. But it didn't stop at hunting mammoths. It applied the same logic to our social and sexual lives. Sexual fantasies act like a biological sandbox, a safe space where your brain can test boundaries, explore social hierarchies, and process the intense chemicals of attraction without the real-world risks of rejection, disease, or physical danger. In this sandbox, your brain can play with concepts like power, submission, or the taboo. It's a training ground for the most complex social act a human can perform. By simulating these scenarios, our ancestors could navigate the high-stakes world of human bonding more effectively. Your fantasies are the legacy of a brain that learned to think before it acted. To see how this works today, we need to zoom into the microscopic world of your neurons. When you have a fantasy, your brain doesn't really know it's fake. While your logical mind knows you're just sitting on a bus, your deeper, more ancient brain structures, the amygdala and the hypothalamus, start firing as if the events are actually happening. What's really happening is a massive chemical release. Your brain starts pumping out dopamine, the chemical of wanting. It signals to your system that something exciting is happening. This is followed by a hit of norepinephrine, which makes your heart race and your skin tingle. But why do we fantasize about things we'd never actually do? Think of it like a roller coaster. When you're on a coaster, your body feels the terror of falling. Your brain gets the rush of adrenaline and the thrill of danger, but you are strapped into a seat on a track. You are safe scared. Sexual fantasies often work the same way. Many people fantasize about forced scenarios or being captured. To the logical mind, this sounds terrifying, but in the safety of the imagination, the brain can enjoy the high-intensity chemicals of a threat while knowing deep down that it has total control. It's the ultimate mental roller coaster. One of the biggest sources of human anxiety is the fear that our fantasies are weird. We look at the glossy, sterilized version of life on TV, and then look at our own mental cinema and think, I must be the only one. It turns out you are almost certainly not. Researchers who study human sexuality have found that there is a massive gap between what people say they want in public and what they think about in private. When thousands of people are asked anonymous questions about their inner lives, a clear pattern emerges: the power play. A huge percentage of the population fantasizes about switching power roles, the high-powered CEO dreaming of being told what to do, or the quiet librarian dreaming of being a dominant ruler. The taboo. The brain is naturally drawn to boundaries. If there's a line in the sand, the brain wants to see what's on the other side. This isn't because we want to break the law, it's because our brains are designed to test the limits of our social reality. The group. Humans are social animals. The idea of more people is a common theme because deep in our evolutionary past, being part of a larger group meant more safety and more resources. When we look at the data, the weird stuff is actually the common stuff. Your secret thoughts are likely shared by millions of people across the globe. You are part of a vast, invisible club of creative thinkers.
But let's look closer. If fantasies are just biological simulations, why are they so specific? Why does one person dream of being tied up while another dreams of a romantic walk on a beach? This is where things get complicated. Our fantasies are built from a mix of three things: biology, your innate drives and hormone levels; culture, the stories, movies, and rules of the society you grew up in; and personal history, your early experiences of comfort, excitement, and discovery. Imagine your sexual identity as a giant Lego set. Everyone starts with the same basic blocks, but as you grow, you pick up unique pieces. A movie you saw when you were 10 might have added a blue brick. A specific feeling of being cared for might have added a red one. By the time you're an adult, you've built a unique, towering structure. Fantasies are often a way for us to meet needs that aren't being met in our daily lives. If your life is chaotic and out of control, you might fantasize about a scenario where everything is structured and someone else is in charge. If your life is boring and predictable, your brain might generate scenarios of high-stakes drama and risk. They are a form of emotional compensation. They help us find balance. They are the way our mind tries to make us feel whole.
There's a very important distinction we need to make: the difference between a fantasy and a desire. In the real world, we want consent, safety, and comfort. We want to know that we can stop at any time. In the fantasy world, we can remove those pesky things like consequences or logistics. A person might fantasize about a rugged stranger in a dark alley, but in real life, they would find that situation terrifying and would call the police. This isn't a contradiction. It's because the fantasy isn't about the stranger. It's about the feeling of being wanted so intensely that the usual rules don't apply. But here's the thing. When we feel shame about our fantasies, we stop viewing them as creative mental tools and start viewing them as threats. This shame can actually make the fantasy more intense as the brain becomes obsessed with the forbidden thought. If we can accept that our brains are just very active movie directors, we can start to enjoy the show without worrying about the plot. We can learn about our needs for power, for care, for excitement, without feeling like there's something wrong with our hardware.
So, what do your sexual fantasies say about you? They say that you are a human being with a brain that is billions of years in the making. They say that you have a powerful imagination that can bridge the gap between your biological instincts and your modern life. They say that you have deep, complex needs for connection, agency, and thrill. In reality, your fantasies are a testament to the incredible creativity of our species. We are the only animals on Earth who can sit perfectly still and experience a universe of sensation, emotion, and story entirely within our own heads. Instead of looking at our inner lives with fear or judgment, we can look at them with wonder. Your brain is trying to tell you something. It's trying to help you navigate the world, process your feelings, and find excitement in a universe that can sometimes feel very gray. We are strange, beautiful, and deeply complex creatures, and the fact that we can dream up such wild, vivid, and weird worlds is just one more reason why being human is so fascinating. The next time your mind starts running one of its private movies, don't look away. Take a seat, grab some mental popcorn, and enjoy the show. After all, it's a story written by you, for you, about the most interesting subject in the universe, what it feels like to be alive. Would you like me to expand on a specific section of this script, perhaps focusing more on the neuroscience of attraction or the historical evolution of taboos?